I think about when I'm buying the equipment nowadays, I also to realize something that I want something more specific when it comes to brands, because those bigger brands usually have too much of a variation. They go from regulators to masks to suits to bags to hoods, and they don't get proficient at anything, but they are everywhere. I don't want to shit on any particular brand in particular, but I have one in mind. I bought their suits, beautiful suits. I like the suits, but it didn't work. I got to return my money after the fifth suit or something. It was everything from the stitching on the pockets totally disintegrates to that it was just stitched, not glued, so they had to glue it, and the zipper cover was in the way for the zipper, so you couldn't close it. What was it more? It was several kind of problems, but the pockets was nice. I understand the idea; it was a good idea, but it just didn't work. And the design was nice, but it just didn't pan out. So good idea, bad product, and that made me feel a little bit like, do I want that brand? Hmm. Then I got a computer, and it says like you get three different gases, 100% oxygen, and whatever. I think the navigation on it had four buttons, so it was like up, down, in and out of the menu. Very good kind of navigation on it. Very clear kind of the display. Very you understood it very well. It was very clear. But the charger was a little bit fragile. The battery, it was very short battery on it. The battery time was like I had to charge it up probably after every dive. But with the share water, I can do it for months before I start thinking about changing batteries. And you can just buy battery wherever in the world. It's just the regular standard battery. What is it, AAA or AA? I don't remember which one is which, but you can get, if you forget it, you know a, a charger on your vacation is like, well, you got a problem. But with a Perdix or with some of their different computers, I think most have the same kind of battery. You can buy it anywhere in any corner of the world. So it was a bad battery, bad charger. It was good navigation. It was a good display on it. But here's the thing. I don't know. It wasn't VPMB. It wasn't Bullman. It was their own kind of thing. So I can't cross check and kind of get the inside. It feels like they are hiding a little bit from me, and I rather go with Bullman or something that I know works very good, and I want to have tables that I can check with the computer and with the different tables, and it fits. Because when I had recreational dives, at least the NDL was totally different from everybody else. They had Sunto or whatever, and I had this specific brand, and I always had less time than them. So we planned the dive. Okay, we had 10 minutes at 40 meters or whatever. And then when we were there, I was like, I have to go up. I have to go up a little bit. My MDL is up. And they'd be like, what? We have 5 minutes left. Not my computer. So it made it hard to dive in teams with people who didn't have the same brand of computer. So I didn't like the algorithm with it either. And my first course, I had already exceeded the limits because it didn't have trimix. Well, I thought it was a tech computer, but if you don't have helium, what is the range of this? If it's a recreational computer, sure. You don't need helium, you don't even need oxygen. So what is this? You can use it to 40 meters, because after 40 meters you're supposed to have helium, otherwise the glycose is getting more than most. I think GUE and INTD and most thing, or more, and now I think most of those say that you shouldn't go deeper than 40 meters without helium. So so is that computer a tech computer only to 40 meters as maximum? That's a very, what should you call it? It's a very limited tech computer indeed. So I think it's not a tech computer, but it's not really a recreational computer either, because 3 gases and 100% oxygen with deco planning and whatever. So what is that? It's not this, it's not that. It's either too expensive and too complicated recreational computer, or it's a moderately priced tech computer, but it's not really tech either. So I think that computer was not taking the full extent it has to, or it did too much it didn't need to. I think that specific brand has a new one that has Trimix. So that's a step closer to actually have a good computer there. So maybe the next one actually being a good computer. So then I felt like, okay, the computer I wasn't really satisfied with. I had questions about what was the scope of that computer. It's not really tech, or it's not really recreational. The dry suit, very beautiful design, smart and nice, good fit, but disintegrating pockets, the stitching just went up, and the zipper cover away, or in the way for the zipper. The stitching leaks, you have to get it back into so they can get more glue to it. It's just like they didn't do a good suit either. And even the bag that I used to have all the dive things in kind of didn't go as well as I thought it would. So I got my old mess bag instead. I got a Santi and a Ursuit suit instead, and the computer got a shower water instead. So now I'm thinking, every time I want to buy something, I look, okay, what are the brands that's, people have and have good rating on the pages and stuff. For instance, if I want a thermal protection, okay, I know people have Weasel Extreme, Santi BZ400, Fourth Element, Halo 3D, maybe with Argon or the regular one. Then I know Fourth Element, they only do thermal protection and dry suits, but it's kind of the same. It's still thermal protection. So they do dry suits, wet suits, undergarment, maybe hoods and gloves, but it's just the thermal. They don't do computers, what I know at least. They have a very specific, like we do, gloves, hoods, overalls, and different kind of garments, dry suit and wetsuits. That's that. Santi the same. You get Santi heating system with electric kind of like heating. You get the different overalls and kind of thermal protections, and you get the dry suits. They don't do other things that are all over the place. And the same with Weasel Extreme, I only know that they do that. And if I want a good hood, I look, okay, who do good hoods? KO1, very popular. I think Waterproof actually have very good Fourth Element. So, and when I look at computers, which are the most common? almost always Shearwater. It could be the Petrel, the Perdix, or the, I don't know what the names are of the others, but almost everyone have that, or Sunto. But Sunto has some criticism against it, so I'm not really sure I would get one. Shearwater are probably the best. So yeah. So I think go with specific brands that are made for that specific purpose. Not just, this brand has everything, so get everything from the same. So I avoid when I see like Cressy or Morris or something that are all over the place, because that means that they might not be good at any specific. They just get too much going on. So I chosen Fourth Element personally when it comes to undergarments. Santi and the Ursuit have been the dry suits that I'm being very happy with, that I'm using. Shearwater for computer. Gloves and hoods I like K1 and waterproof. I think that Omes have good fins. Morris actually have good, what do you call it, the mask. Regulators, I usually see a few brands. Scuba Pro is one of the very best. Apex are very good, amongst the very best. But I think here is, however, different also. Geographically, that Poland has Santi, so it's very close to us. That's maybe why we have a lot of Santi in Sweden, Germany, and stuff. Waterproof is Swedish, so it's very common with the waterproof for us here. Or Finn. The Finnish have the Ursuits, so that's very close to us. So we have that. But if I would be in the United States, maybe I would have this, what do you call it, DUI dry suits, Bear dry suits. What do they have more? Dive Right is a brand I don't see around here as much as I see people in America have, and they might have what else do they have? I see definitely different brands over there than we get, but the shipping cost probably gonna be big also, or the service for things that they should be sent back. So I think certain equipment are definitely more geographically smart to have, but you can still always think about going with the specific brands for that specific purpose. That's my whole point now. Not telling what brand in specific, but the specific brands that just do that very narrow, being kind of thermal protection, computers, regulators, or whatever. If you do everything from torches to regulators to masks to fins to computers to whatever, to dry suits and wetsuits and boats or whatever, then it's like, okay, they're probably not gonna be the best to buy. Well, that was kind of what I had on top of my mind.